Samsung Intercept has a 3.2-inch capacitive touchscreen. A lot of sites will tell you that it has only a 3-inch screen, but I did measure it. It is a 3.2-inch screen diagonally. On the bottom of the screen you have the 4 touch-sensitive buttons. You have the menu, home, back, and you actually do get the search key, unlike on the i1, and search does work smoothly on the Intercept compared to the i1. You have the physical talk and end keys. The end key also works as the power and the screen lock button. You also have a 5-way optical joystick. On the sides you have a volume rocker, the micro SD slot. On the side you have the dedicated camera key, a 3.5mm headphone jack, and a lanyard loop right there. That's what that hole is right above it. That's a lanyard hoop. On the back you have a 3.2 megapixel camera, autofocus, with a mirror, self-portrait mirror. You don't get flash on this, sorry to say, and that does mean it suffers in low light situations. You have the speaker grill in the back, and on top you have the micro USB port. If you slide it up this way, you reveal a full QWERTY keyboard. It does take some getting used to because where the space key is located, but I do find the QWERTY keyboard pretty good. The screen itself is pretty responsive. Slide over no problem, don't even have to put too much pressure on it. You're definitely going to want to put a screen protector on it though, because if you get one you'll see it feels really plasticky, so it doesn't feel like it's going to be able to take too much abuse, and it feels like it's going to be able to get scratched up pretty easily, so you're definitely going to want to put a screen protector on it. There was a time when you bought a prepaid phone and you were getting a crippled version of that phone. There are certain features that you couldn't use because you didn't sign the contracts. And those days have been over for a while now, and this phone pretty much cements the idea. This phone is the exact same phone you would get from Sprint if you signed the contracts and got their Samsung Intercept. See, I actually have Pandora and Slackers on this. It doesn't come with the Sprint apps because, well, it's Virgin Mobile, so it doesn't. Despite running on Sprint, they don't put all that stuff on it. You don't get like Sprint TV or the NASCAR or anything like that. You don't get Sprint navigation. You do get the Google navigation, which you don't get on the i1 because it's running an older OS. It also does have Virgin Mobile Live, which is their streaming music site. You get access to the Amazon MP3 market. You have full access to the Google Android market. There's a couple of sites that say that this phone actually is running off a slower processor. You open this program up and I can show you. If I click on CPU, this shows you all the information about the CPU. This is running off a 800 megahertz processor. So this is not running off a 667 megahertz processor, as certain sites will tell you. So this is a non-crippled phone. This is the exact same phone, minus certain things that would actually give you more user space, so you can actually add more to it. This is running Android 2.1, like I said earlier. And I can show you the build in the kernel. See, this is running Eclair. Now this is stock Androids because this is a powered by Google phone. So, I mean, if you don't like the stock look, you have the full option of any of the launchers, like Pro Launcher or Live Home or ADW. You have the full option of that. There's nothing you can't do on the Samsung Intercept from Sprint that you can't do on this phone. That also does mean it is still running the Rev 0, which is what Virgin Mobile does. Virgin Mobile always gets the devices running off Rev 0, not Rev A. It saves Sprint money, so I mean, it works. If you're gonna compare this to the i, then there's no comparison speed-wise. This works way smoother. Even on the stock Android browser, it runs about the same speed as Opera Mini would on the i1. The 3.2-inch capacitive touchscreen on this phone is fairly responsive. It's at a resolution of 400 by 240, which is odd because it's not listed as a supported resolution on the 2.1 paperwork. However, with the 2.2 update this phone will hopefully get, that actually is a supported resolution. The problem you run into is, well, a lot of people have been running into, is certain apps won't work on this device because of the resolution. I haven't run into that problem personally. I haven't found an app that won't work properly on this, but I know Angry Bird doesn't support this type of screen, but that's hopefully will be changing soon. The Samsung Intercept has the standard Google WebKit browser with flashlight support. Also supports pinch to zoom. Pinch to zoom is actually pretty smooth on this device. However, pinch to zoom does not work on all aspects of this device. You still have to press the zoom button while using the camera and also while viewing images in the gallery. I wanted to show how responsive this phone can be. So right now I'm running ADW home replacement. So I have actually 5 home screens up right now. I just want to show you that the processor on this is pretty responsive. It can render things pretty quickly and handle animations. And runs pretty smoothly with, a home launcher over it. So this is running with the original home on still, plus this launcher on it. So we're talking multiple widgets running at the same time, and it's still processing and running really smoothly. The Intercept has a weird quirk where every once in a while the touch-sensitive keys will stop operating. My theory behind that, actually if you look really close at the optical point pad, there's a small light indicating that the optical pad is actually active. And I believe that in order to save battery life, what Samsung has done is made it so during operation every once in a while the optical pad will actually turn off when not in use, which also shuts off all the touch sensitive buttons. In order to get around this, the only thing you really have to do is, if you feel like if your touch sensitive buttons do not work, just swipe on the optical mouse and then it will start working. The Samsung Intercept has a 3.2 megapixel digital camera with autofocus. The image quality is actually pretty good. It does not have a flash, however, so it will suffer in low light situations. It has the stock Android camera, so it has features like geotagging, different color modes, control the white balance and stuff. The Samsung Intercept is a great choice for those looking for a prepaid Android device. The $250 upfront cost might hurt your wallet a little bit, but with minute plans starting at $25 for 300 minutes, $40 for 1200 minutes, and $60 for unlimited minutes, and all plans including unlimited web, text, and email, the upfront cost is well worth it.